Good morning, Shubhodayam. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunatu Sahaviyankaravavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Asato Ma Satgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityor Ma Mritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Page number 83. The second saying. This is the time to decide your future while you possess the energy of youth, not when you are worn out and jaded, but in the freshness and vigor of youth. Work. This is the time for the freshest, the untouched and unsmelled flowers alone are to be laid at the feet of the Lord, and such He receives. Rouse yourselves, therefore, for life is short. After returning from abroad, Swami Vivekananda was traveling from Colombo to Almora. Some places bullock cart, some places horse carriage, at some places through train, and by ship he went to Kolkata. After that he went to Almora from Colombo. On the way he stayed for 9 days in Chennai. 7 days he gave lectures. Still the people of Chennai and at Chennai Much, Chennai Ramakrishna Mutt, we always celebrate Navaratris like that. Swami Vivekananda Navaratris like that we celebrate. Because Swami stayed there for 9 days. In one of those days, Swamiji gave a wonderful lecture on the future of India. In that, Swamiji first told them about the India's greatest past. See, if you see the history of any other nation, their history was very short. They cannot go beyond 2000 years before Christ. But whereas the concept of time is different in India. The time is divided into yugas and kalpas, like that. All these kind of things we find in Bhagavatam. Clearly, very clearly we find them. And over the period of time, some people belongs to one age, one yuga. They have continued to live in another yuga. Krita Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Treta Yuga, Krita Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga and Kali Yuga. And in course of time, various kinds of religions, various kinds of languages have emerged. In Sanatana Dharma itself, various kinds of practices were there and people named them differently. Because of that variety, India has a unique figure in the world map. But if India has to rise, and all this history itself inspires us to work for the glorious future of India. Our people, so many people, hundreds and thousands of people, sages, kings, they had very great history. They ruled the kingdom in different ways. They were so mighty, so giants, powerful. They mastered in the various arts and sciences. They achieved greatest heights in those days. Not only in other yugas, in Kali Yuga itself, we find in the history, and several people from abroad, they came to India to visit, like Megasthenes and all. They also wrote in their diaries about India's greatness, how the kings ruled the kingdom, how the people were treated, what is India's culture. And when we read India's history, when we see the ancient monuments, ancient temples, we can come to the history of India. That's why Swamiji used to say, don't read the Indian history written by foreigners. You have to write the Indian history by going into the villages and nook and corner of the country and find out the ancient temples and ancient plaques on them and inscribed about the history of the temple, who built it, which period, what was the purpose, what was the greatness of the temple, all several kinds of things regarding traditions and religion and about the king and that king's era. All of them were written on those plaques. Like that, you have to go and roam around the country and find out your own history, your own greatness. That will inspire you with courage for better future. In a modern world, people having financial majority, financial advancement or political advancement or scientific advancement, the people of other countries proclaim themselves that they are the developed countries. But it is not so. In one way, it may be correct, but a man has to have the knowledge of greatest science, greatest of all sciences, that is spiritual science. Indians achieved highest stages in spiritual science. Indian sages, they are nothing but spiritual scientists. They have invented so many methods, so many paths to reach the Almighty. In that process, all the traditions, cultures, all of them have been strengthened. All the arts and sciences have been strengthened. Once again, if India has to rise and show its mark on the history of the world, it is through spirituality alone. Swamiji says India's backbone is religion. There should be one universal temple, universal non-sectarian temple based on the principles of Sanatana Dharma. Adjacent to each, an education system should be there. That should teach the traditional and cultural values of India. The people who renounced, some people have to sacrifice themselves to work for this cause. India always accepted the people of other religions or people of other countries, and India never invaded any other country. But India welcomed all the people of all religions and all countries, isn't it? That was India's greatness, to accept and to love each and everyone. If once again India has to rise, it is through its religion only, its spirituality only, India can conquer the world. That was Swamiji's idea. For that, instead of conventional careers, like we have teachers, doctors, or lawyers, or like that, we should have some unconventional careers. These are the conventional careers. We should have some unconventional careers. Some volunteer, some devotee, some social, some service, okay, some social service. All these are little unconventional, isn't it? Through these unconventional careers, you can achieve more benefits, Swamiji says, for working for his cause. If India has to rise again, see, just by explaining about them, the glorious history of India, they have realized in the Parliament of Religions, Chicago. That's why they have respected Swamiji. Swamiji freely distributed our India's spiritual knowledge among the people of the world with lot of love and affection. He was in love with the human beings. He not only had love for the Indian people, he had wonderful love for the people of the world. His brother disciples used to call him as condensed India. In that way, he used to love the people of his country, but it has proved that he loved all the human beings of the world through one incident. One day he had some heart attack. He had some pain in his heart while sleeping in the midnight. Suddenly he woke up and he was strolling in the veranda. His brother disciple asked him, Swamiji, why are you strolling there and why don't you come and sleep? Then Swamiji explained to him, somewhere on the world, some natural calamity happened, so many hundreds and thousands of people died. That's why I am not sleeping. Then that brother disciple told, brother disciple thought, he is just having some bad dream, something like that. That's why he is speaking like that. But next morning he saw in the newspaper, in Fiji Islands, an earthquake happened, thousands of people died. Even the seismograph can correctly measure the, what we call, earthquake's responses or not, we do not know. But Swamiji's heart used to respond to the problems of the people. In that way, he loved people of the world. When we have a little portion of that love, we will have the courage to sacrifice ourselves for a great cause. Then only we can become great. Okay? Have a wonderful day ahead. Please proceed to class.